Hi everyone, welcome. This is Delle. We're going to jump into getting some channel messages for you guys today, as well as doing a tarot reading with the Golden Art Nouveau tarot deck. So I'm excited that you're here with me today. I hope everybody is well. Please do like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. It's greatly appreciated. It helps the channel to grow, and as it's growing, you just being here and your support means the world, and yeah, you get to grow with it. So thank you so much for everyone who has already liked the videos, shared, commented, and subscribed. I'm just so grateful for your support. Thank you so much. And yeah, I really appreciate it. So all information about me can be found in the description box. How to book a personal reading. It can only be done through my website, dellegoddessintuitive.com, or dellegoddess.com will take you there as well. Any messages that come through as songs in the reading, I just add to our Spotify playlist. It's grown really large and eclectic and fun, and there's music that cover all genres, I feel like, and span all ages. So definitely consider checking that out too if you are a music lover, or even if you want to experiment with yourself with just hitting shuffle and pulling a song intuitively for you that way. Yeah, that's a message. So I think that's all the housekeeping. Let's get into the reading. We'll dive in. So also, just any resources that come through the channel, you can find everything in the description box as well. So something wants to be explored through you, by you. So I feel like you might be embarking on a new creative endeavor where it's literally like, it's like what wants to be created through me, what wants to be allowed to be created through me. For some, I'm getting like pottery. I'm hearing pottery wheels. So learning to work with your hands in a different way, or in a way you've never done before. I'm seeing somebody who's like, I don't like to get my hands messy, but something about the process of creating with your hands keeps calling to you and speaking to you, and I feel like you're finally ready to explore that. So that's exciting. You can always wash your hands, don't worry. So it's coming through to be supportive in that way. So, and to be supportive to yourself in that way, where if you're trying to talk yourself out of things like, I don't like to be messy, just reminding yourself you can always wash your hands. There's soap and water, you know, it'll be okay. So, and then you'll have a clay pot or something that you'll be able to carry with you and use, and it's like a part of you, an extension of yourself that you get to enjoy. So yeah. For some too, it's like if it's not pottery or a pottery wheel, it's like learning about stained glass is coming through. Those two are the big ones, as well as like some type of botany. So ikebana, I think, is what's coming through with flower arrangement, or doing some type of floral or botany arrangement with plants is coming through. I think ikebana is the Japanese arrangement of flowers, but anyway, it could be too, you're learning to combine the two. So learning to use pottery to make an ikebana vase. So, and then you take that vase and create like ikebana with it. So it's like a double or multiple layer of creativity there, creative expression through you. So it's one I'm getting you'll enjoy for a long time, like it's gonna last a long time. So if it's not a creative endeavor, I'm seeing like somebody's taking up running because they've caught themselves that they've complained about running and not understanding or knowing or liking people who run. So it's like calling yourself out on this and being like, you know what, I'm actually gonna see or get to the bottom of why I don't like running so much. I think you'll find that you'll actually really, really enjoy it, or you'll find that no, it's not for you and you never have to do it again. But I'm seeing that there's a link there to an expansion or expression in some way, shape, or form, where you're being honest with yourself about, or calling attention to yourself, why don't I like this so much, and putting it to the test. And again, it's maybe you were talking yourself out of it because you're actually really enjoying it and you like it, and it's growing, it's helping you to grow and expand in some way. So it could be that your health improves or something like that. So just being honest and real with yourself and just checking in when we have those aversions to things. Is there an actual basis for the aversion to things, or is there a reason like, oh, so-and-so ate peas and I don't like him or her, so I'm not going to eat peas because it reminds me of them. But you might be denying yourself the enjoyment of eating peas, like snow peas or snap peas or something. But because there's this association or this link between something negative, you've shunned it out. So it's like kind of overcoming those things that, you know, hold us back, and we might not be knowing that they hold us back, or we know that like this person caused the aversion, or so we think, but it's really ourselves that are holding ourselves back from potentially enjoying something when really it has nothing to do with the other person, and we could be enjoying this thing. So that's coming through. The next channel message is, I guess, segueing in from that one, or maybe it could be a continuation, but it's allowing yourself to have more fun. So there's a need, no matter what your circumstance or your external circumstances in your environment, to have more fun and to figure out a way to have more fun, and to count your blessings. So there's something about just really remaining and stepping back into a space of feeling grateful and gratitude, whether it's to be alive, whether it's to feel alive, whether it's to, like, for the very air that you breathe. There's something about reminding yourself to always stay thankful and grateful to yourself, and for others around you, and for the space around you is coming through very, very strong. So there's little, like, I'm hearing like games and stuff you can play that are great ways of connecting people. So like word association games are coming through, where you're like, you go through the alphabet, you know. My cat's at the door. Give me 1 second. Okay, and I'm back. So a game that's coming to mind is like, I don't really remember how this goes, but I think we used to play it growing up, like when I was younger. But it was just like, I'm going to the store and I'm getting an apple, so that's the letter A. And then the next person adds on to that, I'm going to the store and I'm getting an apple and a banana, so that's A and B. Then it goes back, you know, I'm going to the store and I'm getting an apple, a banana, and cherries, C. So, and then it goes on and on and on. So it's like a memory game, but it's also word association and following, you know, with the alphabet. So it sounds dumb, but when you get to playing, it's like there's fun that it evokes, because what it's really doing is evoking like a sense of togetherness and working together on something. So that's coming through as a fun little exercise to do, or a tool for togetherness. So okay, now we can get into the tarot. So let's see what messages the tarot wants to bring through for today. I'm getting, know you are welcome. So like, you're welcome somewhere. If you aren't really feeling like you have an environment you feel welcome in, I'm getting that there's a sense of welcome, like of feeling welcome, coming in soon for you, or arriving soon for you. And it is outside of yourself. So, you know, it's big to be like, seek nothing outside of yourself, cultivate that sense of welcomeness within you. But what I am getting is that it's like something outside of yourself. So it could be a group of people or a person, a home. It's like something just makes you feel really welcome. And it's like, I'm getting, it's like a gift from the universe to be able to do that. So, or not to be able to do that, but that it's coming in for you to help you with that. So okay, making sure there wasn't more with that, because it felt a little scrambled coming through. So I trust if it's for you, you'll know how to make sense of that. So if I didn't say so already, these aren't personal readings, so they're general readings. Not everything might resonate with you, and that's okay. I kind of look at this as like a big mailbox, and we're looking at the letters together, and some letters have your name on it and some don't, and that's okay. So bottom of the deck is the Knight of Swords. So there's something rushes in. I'm hearing fools rush in, and I can't help falling in love with you. That song by Elvis Presley. It's already on the Spotify playlist. So I get that somebody's acting fast because they don't want you to go. They don't want to lose you. So I'm not really sure how that is coming in, but I feel like it's somebody that you closed a cycle out with, or you're about to close a cycle out with, and there's this it's like they've had a realization about you, like, oh my God, I might lose this person. I want to go after them. And then they go after you or whatever, but I feel like it might be too little or too late or something like that. So it's not going, like the person's going to have to work for that to get you back into their good graces, or vice versa. They're going to have to work at getting you back into their life. It's not going to be just a given this time. So that's coming through. I guess we're continuing from that set of messages. It's going to be like there's a decision that needs to be made about what to do. I feel like you're taking your time with thinking about something, but ultimately it's like, all right, what am I doing here? I need to make a decision. So any kind of waiting period I actually see is you kind of mulling over in your head. Okay, what's the best thing for me to do? I actually see some of you making a pros and cons list with the swords here, like pros, cons. Writing down what your values are. What do you value out of life? What are your top 10 values, or your top 5 values, or even 3 values? Writing it down on a piece of paper. So, it'll be different for every one of you, but I'm just getting to say a little example, like I value strong, open, honest communication. I value unconditionality in my relationships, and I value trust. So writing that down at the top, and then on the one side of the pros list, write your pros of the situation. What are the good things that I think or feel I would gain or get out of this if I choose this? And then what are the cons? What are the negatives about this if I choose, if I choose this? It could also be if you have 2 choices to look at it like, all right, what are the pros of this choice and the cons of this choice? And then what are the pros of this choice and the cons of that choice? And then going through each one and seeing, okay, does this pro or con, align with this value? And you'll find your answer that way. Like, okay, it seems that more of the pros add up to the things that I value. So that's an indicator, like, okay, this is a good thing for me. If more of the cons, like, they clash with the values, where it's just like, okay, I don't, if something on your list is like, I wouldn't be able to trust this, but you value trust, that's a conflict. So that's coming through if you want to look into that, or experiment with making a list or creating a list for yourself. I believe that this comes up and you're able to have this center discussion with yourself because you know your worth now. So the Queen of Pentacles is about, like, okay, I see my value, and I see it all here in the pentacle that she's holding. And even though I'm saying she, there's a queen on the card, so that's why I'm saying she. There's a divine feminine aspect here. So the way that's translating is knowing what you want to receive for yourself. What do you wish to receive for yourself? And how does that align with your values? How do you value yourself? And are the actions you're taking align with how you value yourself? If you're noticing too that you're accepting less than you deserve, where do you need to update the value that you have for yourself? It could be too that the way that you see yourself is old and outdated, so that needs to be updated. So if you're acting how you used to act in the past, but you're recognizing now, wait a minute, I've done a lot of work on my self-worth where I know my value, so why am I still accepting less? It's about being really real with yourself, not coming from a space of judgment, but just looking at it. Okay, how do I want my life to feel like? What do I want my life to look like? And how am I going to embody that? And the way we embody that, again, is by taking aligned action. So what actions am I taking that best support the values that I have? And then going from there. Because I get that, there's a halt, coming in, where it's things that want to come into your life, but you're in this evaluation phase where it's like, well, hold on, let me see what I actually want and value. So with the Knight of Wands, this is also another quick moving fiery energy where not as fast as the Knight of Swords, but what I'm getting is it's like things, or somebody really wants to come back into your life, and you're like, well, hold on, actually, I need to see if this actually aligns with my values. Whereas before, you might have just been like, fine, yeah, come on back in, it's fine, we'll figure it out. It's like, I see you going, actually, no, I need to think about this. You don't have open access and all access, open-ended pass into my life anymore. I have to think about this. I have to see if it aligns with what I want. And I don't feel that you have the need to explain that to this person as well. So if it's not about one person, because I feel like this is a specific message for one person or somebody out there. If it's not about that, it's about a job. It's like a job rushes back in where they're like, oh, we want you to do this, this, and this. And you're having this moment where you're like, let me see if I actually want to do that. And then taking a moment to think about it. But I'm also getting the sense of like, you don't need to over explain your process. So with Strength and the Nine of Swords together, Nine of Swords is a card about like worrying, being up all night, and just over mulling things in their head where they're like, I don't really know what to do here. I'm worried. What if I get taken advantage of again? What if I this, or what if it's not the right move? And there's something within that worry too that makes you stop and go, okay, like, is this fear-based, or is this actually a real thing that this could be a possibility? So I just see that in the Strength card, it's like you're coming out of this energy where you're, okay, let me choose not to be afraid. Let me choose to have courage to act confidently in a way that, okay, I actually know what's best for myself. If someone's making you feel like there's lack, or that like, oh, if you don't snag this deal, you're going to miss out on something. There's something with that. It speaks more about the other person's ability to kind of paint that picture. But I get what I'm getting, at least with this reading, is that that you know the truth to this, that there might be more truth to this, where it's like, okay, what's actually going on? What's actually the answer? I'm getting a sense that you have leveled up significantly. Somebody who didn't treat you with the kindness or level of respect that you previously deserved sees that now, feels that now, and wants a piece of the pie. But they haven't placed a hand in. I'm trying to figure out how this wants to come in. It's like that old story of the hen with the bread. I don't know, this was a children's book, but it's or a children's story where the hen was like, I want to make bread. Will anybody help me? And they were like, oh, we don't want to help you. So she goes, well, I need help cutting down the wheat. Oh, we don't want to help. Okay, so she cuts down the wheat herself. I need help milling it. We don't want to help you. Okay. So then she mills it herself. I need help turning it into flour. We don't want to help you. She turns it into flour. You get where this is going. And it goes on and on. I need help kneading it. We don't want to help you knead it. Okay, so she does it herself. She does all this herself until the very end, where the bread is finally baked and it smells so good and it looks great. And it's like, wow, it could be a sourdough loaf. I don't know. We can use our imagination here. Maybe it's a marble rye. I don't know. And everyone's like, oh, can we help you eat that? And she says, no, because you didn't help me in any of the process. So I'm not sharing the bread. And that's kind of the energy that I'm getting, where it's like, where was this person before when you really needed help? Where was this person before when you were struggling? You know, so if something that you value is unconditionality in relationships, you might want to take a look at that, because it seemed before that this person only wanted you when you were doing well. And when you weren't doing well, they were nowhere to be seen. That, you know, they were hiding somewhere. So it's just now that you seem to be doing well all the time, it's like they want to come in and be a part of that. You know, they want a piece of that pie. But I'm getting, you can choose to do whatever you want. We all have free will. But I'm getting, it's like, I see that you have compassion for this person anyway, and you're like, you know what, like I understand you tried to bite me before with a lion, and I'm understanding that might be your nature, but I don't have to stick my arm into your mouth all the time from now on, so that way you can bite me. I'm protecting myself now. So I gotta let my cat in again. Hold on one sec. Okay, and then we have one more tarot card, which is the Tower. So if this isn't about relationship between you and one person, it's also about too, like, if you've been made promises by an organization or group or something like that, where it's like you've been repeatedly disappointed. I see that you kind of, like, you're waking up to that and being like, no more. You know what? We're going in a different direction here, because We were promised all of these things and you're not delivering. So this could be too, like if it's a job, it's like I'm hearing union's been on strike. So it's who is that? Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi. They're highlighting that one lyric in there. Union's been on strike. So I get that. It's again, if you're unhappy with leadership or the way that something's going, or a contract, or you're trying to advocate for more rights or things like that for yourself, and the people or the parties who are supposed to be the ones to advocate for you and listen to that, and they're not doing that job, I just see that there being this like overthrowing where it's like, you know what, we don't want to do that anymore. We want better. And you keep saying that it's going to change or be better, or when we needed help, you weren't there. So we're not, why would we listen to you? You've already shown and proven that you weren't there. So again, there's something about just, I know that I deserve more. I know that I am worthy of more. I know I'm worthy of receiving more. And anyone who just doesn't cut it, I just feel like they're going to fall by the wayside. That's the energy that's coming through. So it's important always just to use your discernment, see how these messages are resonating for you or with you if you feel that they are for you. And the way I like to, like, you'll know if a message is for you. Have you ever tried on a pair of jeans and you're like, they're cute, they're on trend, whatever, but they're not the most comfortable pair of jeans that I've had, but I look good in them. And then you try on a pair of jeans that the second you put them on, you're like, oh, these are mine. Like you can feel they look great, they feel great, the material's just right, they're cut just right, they fit your figure perfectly, they they're durable, they're flexible, so they're going to be able to keep up with you in the work that you do, whatever it is, you know that they're the one. That's how this is coming through, where it's like, if there's this hesitancy or whatever, where it's like, no, this isn't what I want, this isn't right or whatever. But I'm seeing, I got sucked back into the message again. How it was coming through first was about discernment. You'll know if the message is for you, and you know if it's not for you, you won't have to force it to fit. But then also it's bringing me back into the message where, again, if you're not really sure if this person's right for you, or if this group is right for you, organization, leadership, whatever it is, it's like you can feel it. This isn't for us anymore. It's not for me anymore. I want to choose differently. And then finding the strength, the courage to choose differently. So, but it's fallen apart anyway. There's a reason. So, and it's highlighting to you because, like it or not, whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not, you have recognized your worth and your value, and it's much greater than you once previously allowed yourself to see yourself as. So once you have an awareness about something, you have a choice then. Do I keep acting in a lower awareness, or do I keep acting or start to act out of this heightened awareness? When you act from a space of lower awareness, even though you have this heightened awareness, conflict happens. It's like, it's chaos. It doesn't, I did a video about harmony on the channel with sharing a personal share about this. When you know when you know what's actually right for you and you choose less than that, it just derails you. And I'm getting like your life, your time is too precious to have to backtrack and fix all of that, because sometimes it's a quick fix and sometimes it's a series of choices that lead up, and you're like, oh gosh, and it sets you back like a whole year, you know what I mean? And it's just, life's too precious. And if you know what your value and you know your worth, and you are valuing yourself, you make actions that align with that, you'll only continue to grow. So I will leave it there. I feel like that got lost a little bit on a tangent, so if it did, I apologize. But yeah, it's coming through like as a way to like amp you up and rev you up to be like, yeah, but choose you, choose you, choose something greater. So, but we all have free will, so we can do whatever we want. So I leave it to you. Anyway, thank you so much if you watched the whole reading, and take care, and until next time, stay well. Bye.